All right, we are live. Whoop, whoop. Let's go ahead and send us out. Do, 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 do. What is up? Just sharing it to my page really quick. Making sure we're all good. Got your popcorn ready? Man, I really wish I could have some popcorn right now. I probably could, but I'm not tempted. So I'll be very disappointed if a lot of people don't show up here because everybody seemed very excited about it. Living it up at the Hotel California. Yeah, got Mike's popcorn ready. Popcorn, popcorn. Well, we got 7 people in here. We'll wait a little bit. We'll give them 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. I think 5 minutes is good enough. 9:05. We'll pop it off. I'm just here for the carnage. Glad to hear. I'm new. I like your stuff, though. Glad to hear. Although I don't really have too much stuff nowadays. Most of it's for the GPI case. I'm actually right behind there's my other laptop, which I'm loading on my old image, the last image that I created that was like loaded in any sense back when Retropie was at 3.9, I think it is. So I'll have to update it, but once I get it on there, CM3 kit, courtesy of Chris from RGR, who I am partnering up with to get these out to everybody. So if you guys are interested in that, check out the Etsy store. They are a little pricey, but for the performance you're getting out of them, they're probably worth it. I say probably because, you know, there are some better things out there, but for the most part, it's a pretty good deal. For 150 bucks, that's a pretty hard system to beat at 150 bucks. That's probably like 160, 170, depending on your SD card and everything. So yeah, so we'll give you guys a couple more minutes. We'll wait till like 9:05, and then I'll just start my ranting and raving. That's why I listed this as a comedy on YouTube, because that's literally what it's probably going to end up being, because I will probably go like slap happy crazy. And my ADD will probably fly off the handle about everything too. So this will be fun, shifting from one thing to another. So, but there's several things we'll cover on today's weird show. So, other than that, how's everybody's day going? My day started off fantastic with about 1,000 people trying to get a hold of me because, well, China. And yeah, some other stupid stuff that went down, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Going great. Are you sure about that? You really want to say that after what I'm putting you through? I say what I'm indirectly putting you through. I'm amazed. We have 15 people in here. All right, we got one more minute. One more minute. My watch is running a little slow. Trying to stay positive. Yeah. Do I need to get you one of those cat posters that says hang in there? I already got one as my desktop background. That's good. That's good. That's very good. I should probably like try and reposition the camera, but I figured I'd show off some of the goodies that I'm going to with today. So, what's up? Howdy from Taiwan, right, Neville? Cool shades. Actually, I don't have my shades. I got my glasses. I can put on my glasses. Oh, Jesus. There is that better for you. Singapore. Close, I guess. I'll be honest. I'm not a geographer, so I don't really even know where they are. So I figured it was close enough, though. Somewhere in that area. Anyway, let's get on with the show. So, couple things I wanted to touch base with is what's going on with me and moving on from Retropie and what exactly happened with that and everything that's been going on since I left. So, haven't seen this show in a while. I miss anything? No, we literally, I'm just right now. I figured I'd give some people some time to check in. Anyway, so let's see. So what started was basically decline in, I guess, being a little narcissistic with the Retropie group. And it's something that I see a lot with a lot of people who are admins of groups. And again, myself included in this, that kind of become power hungry and like our word is God, like this is how it goes, because there are certain things that you are accustomed to doing and they basically make you come off that way. And then it just automatically absorbs into you. Whether you want to, believe that or not, that you are that type of person, it happens. I've talked to several people. I'm actually part of the Facebook Power admin group and have been for quite some time. And that was because at one point I was the admin of almost all of the retro gaming. Well, I shouldn't say all of them, but a good portion of the retro gaming single board computer Facebook groups, which it's not really anything to tout. It's Facebook. Facebook is becoming kind of like 4chan / Reddit, where it just becomes a bunch of babies bickering here and there, myself included, and I trigger that immensely in a lot of people, apparently. So, anyway, like I said, kind of narcissistic with that, where, I kind of got a little over my head. And the reason for that being is I was starting to talk more and more with the actual Retropie team, and specifically more or less Jules, who, if anybody knows anything about Retropie, he basically is Mr. Retropie. Without him, there probably wouldn't be a Retropie. I'm sure the devs would still be there, but he's pretty much the starter of it. And so I kind of got a campaign going about it, I want to say 8 or 9 months ago, where I was starting to do more and more related to Retropie and what they are and what they stand for. And a lot of people didn't like that because, well, it is more like robotic. It's kind of like, it reminds me a lot of the Apple versus IBM. Like I was going more towards the IBM side and people wanted to be Apple, that type of thing. And so I kind of stepped on a lot of toes, and that's what's going to happen with that type of thing. It's people don't really like that type of change, especially aggressive change, which I was doing. So I was kind of trying to become more and more like Retropie. And before I get into anything, I just wanted to let you guys know that even though a lot of people think that I am the Retropie Facebook group and I was the creator, that is absolutely far from the truth. And if I led you to believe that, I'm absolutely sorry about that. But I was there more or less to help. That is still my main job, is to help anybody out in any way, shape, or form that I can. Whether it be, sending them some funds to help them get by, to corroborating with them on projects, helping them with projects that they might be stonewalled on, giving them ideas that they might not think of. And I really hate saying that specifically because that makes it sound like they don't really know what they're doing, and I'm giving them something that kind of takes it off. And that basically means that they didn't know what the hell they were doing. So that's I hate saying that word, but it's about the only word that I can think of in that sense. So, but iPhone versus Android is more modern analogy. Android is better, by the way. It's just my opinion. That's really opinion. Little off topic. Ever since the iPhone 5S, or maybe it was a 6, when they handed it over to the European division, they basically turned it into Android. And they had said something about that where they took parts of Android, tinkered with it, and then put it into an Apple sense. So in a way, it kind of is a part of Android. So, but I digress on that. That's not what this is really about. We're not going to get into that dumb show because that's a stupid argument to begin with. It's like foreign and domestic for cars. It's a never-ending rant and rave about who's right, who's wrong, and basically everybody's wrong. Period. Anyway, so first off, I was never the big man at Retropie. I was the admin. I was put in charge by original creator Ross Ingerson. And I'm probably just butchered his last name because I didn't really even look it up. I just know his name is Ross. I just know him as Ross, period. He was the original creator of Retropie. And when I took over, we had about 3,000 members. And again, I hate saying this, but in terms, I grew the group to 18,000. But I'm not even going to state that officially. I'm going to say that I was there to help the group progress to that stage by helping members. I had nothing to do with the physical growth with it, because anything related to Odroid, Retropie, Arcade 1-Up, basically big names that are in the industry, Nintendo, Sega, Sony, whoever it may be, the name alone, if you put that name in anything, you are automatically guaranteed to get members in there, because search functions automatically find those keywords. Whether you tag it as that or not, those words are in an algorithm that automatically find that. So I can't even take credit. In fact, nobody can take credit for growing a group unless you physically push that group on a constant basis. Okay? If I see it on social media, on all platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, Discord, on any type of gaming site, YouTube, anything like that. If you are constantly promoting that, then you absolutely have that right to say, I grew this group. If you do not do that, you're just there as someone to kind of keep the group intact. You're kind of like the babysitter. That's what I consider myself as. And anybody who is an admin or a moderator should do so as well. Anything above that, I'll be straight honest. It's narcissism at its finest. I've seen it before. I've been in that situation. Absolutely, I would consider myself a narcissist in the Retropie group. Absolutely, 100%. Because my word was that. Okay? And that is a terrible thing to do. And I'm going to try my hardest to stop doing things like that. And if some of you do or do not know, I have created a new group called Retro New Age. This will be quite different than the norm, okay, in a lot of ways. First off, yes, I will be the only admin of the group. But here's one thing. I will just be a name, okay? There's going to be how things are in other groups where it goes to a moderator or an admin. We're going to change some things around. I haven't really set anything in solid place, but it's not going to be up to the moderator and an admin. It's not. It's not going to be like corporate banter. It's not going to be like that, where you go to the assistant manager and that it goes to the manager and then you're gone. Okay? It's not going to be like that. It's going to be everybody has a decision in it, because that's the way it should be. It's something that I've always wanted to do, and I never really initiated it in the Retropie group because it wasn't my group, okay? It was a group that was handed over to me because the original creator, Ross, didn't have the time to keep an eye on it. So you're pumping iron and watching. I already know who that is. That's Finny. So yeah, again, even if I created that group, I don't consider it my group. I consider it everybody's group, okay? And again, anybody that considers it, oh, well, my group, that is narcissism at its finest, okay? 100%. Whether you want to believe that or not, it's true. Because narcissism is like, it's me, it's me, it's me, you're wrong. It's all about me. And that's basically the definition of it. This is my group. This is mine, okay? A kid like mine. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. All grown up. Most of us are adults. Okay, there are a handful of kids that are around, but for the most part, we're way grown men. Okay, it's time to stop the childish garbage that went on. So, like I said, my apologies because I'm going to be going back and forth here. So, back to Retropie and what exactly unfolded with that. So my course to go towards Retropie and Retropie UK, what they are and what they stand for, and talking with the devs and everything like that. Like, that's what I wanted to try and be. So slowly I was pushing that way. And then I had come across the Supreme team, who were pushing their image on the Retro Flag website. Now, I don't have a problem with them pushing their image. It's the way that they did it. So it was the way that it directly linked to their Patreon account. Again, I would not have an issue if it was just the Patreon account. The issue at hand, and I have agreements with the devs and Jules himself from Retropie, that the way that they word things to step around the terms of service of Retropie, which basically states you cannot sell the Retropie image in any way, shape, or form for the most part. There are some things missing in there, and people just kind of tiptoe around it. Now, they can't really take legal action because there's so many people that do it. Myself was included in this back in the day. Again, I've done it. It's in the past. I haven't done it for a while. If somebody asks me about it, I'll do it if I really feel the need to, but I have not done it. Okay. I don't plan on really doing it. It's a very rare occurrence that I would. It really have to be some extreme measure for me to go to that level again. Okay. Because I have progressed to a different level that shouldn't happen ever again. So that's one of many things. So I've caused some issues with Retropie handhelds, with Jeremy Dressler and his group of admins and moderators, and for basically trying to help out a friend. You guys mostly know him. His name is Adam Harry, also known as DNA Design. Okay, at the time he was having an issue where he was going to get flooded out from a hurricane and he was going to lose everything. Okay, at the time I didn't really have a lot of money to help him out, but I did. So I made a GoFundMe account to help him out. And I had a couple people talk about it and do things and help out with it. But for the most part, I got basically issue after issue on the Retropie handhelds. And it got to the point where, like, they deleted the post. Like, how are you guys not helping someone from the community? And again, this is me and how I've always been and helping people out. So that was my issue with it, that they were just kind of sweeping it under the rug and calling it a day because everybody was reporting it. So that was my biggest thing about it. Excuse me. So that's why I started having a rant and rave and basically calling them out and this and that. And in my fit of rage, you know, I basically called Jeremy out and all them and called them every name under the sun. And over time, we settled our differences as far as I can tell. I mean, me and Jeremy are still on pretty good speaking terms. And as far as I can tell, everybody else at the Retropie handheld. So, so that's basically how it is. So that was number one. Number two was Super Retropie. So just to give you a little backstory about that, you guys mostly know some of the some of the moderators and admins of Super Retropie started from Retropie. I've helped several of them in several times. And basically what it is the admin, Travis Wilson, basically had an issue where I had put out a feeler for more admins and more mods, and I didn't end up picking them. Basically what it was is I'd known him. He had helped me out with some of the whatchamacallit, the giveaways that I used to do. So definitely used to do that. Okay, that's great. So the issue that I'm told by several people is that I didn't let him become a moderator or admin, and that is the reason and the creation for the Super Retropie group. Perfectly fine. That's fine. You get mad, you go and create your own. That, hey, people start that stuff, and that's how they become big. It happens all the time. That's great. Great. That's how it is. So then we had a little bit of issue with that because he had basically, for some reason, seen me as an enemy from then on. And now it's getting to the point where it's almost laughable because I just don't care no more, regardless of what's said in the conversation or whatnot. I don't care. Yeah, I don't. And that's if you get me to that level where I'm trying to keep like a good posture about myself. That's not even a really good word. A good sense about myself and about talking to that person, and it just everything that comes at you is just like, oh my God. And the funny thing is when you talk to other people, it's the same reaction about it. And basically I had it out with him. I ended up removing some mods and admins because he wanted to be different. So my thought process on that was, all right, you wanted to be different. How can you be different when we have similar mods and admins? That doesn't really make sense in my book. In my head, this is what I was conjuring up. So I basically sent out a letter to all the mods and admins that were related to the Super Retropie group. And that's pretty much what I did, is sent them a letter stating, hey, he wanted something different. This is what we're going to do. And I got backlash for it. And I felt really, really bad about doing it because I really know these guys. I've worked with them. I've worked with several of them. I will still continue to work with them. They are a great group of guys. Okay. And I can't really say enough about them. They've helped me out. I've helped them. The feeling is mutual, I would hope. As far as I can still tell, we are still all on good speaking terms. Basically, I redacted thing and brought them back out, and I basically made them all admins, and everything just didn't seem the same. And absolutely my doing, 100%. I did something that at the point in time I flew off the handle about, and I probably shouldn't have. I probably should have taken a step back, but hey, everything happens for a reason, I guess. And that's basically how it was. And then I was basically kicked out of Retropie, Super Retropie, for good reasons. I was promoting, and they didn't promote or anything like that, which was really weird because at the time they promoted an Etsy shop for one of their moderators, John Dagnillo. So I just thought it really weird that you specifically don't have a promotion or linking to shops or selling. I think it was selling specifically, that you couldn't sell anything, but yet there was right then and there selling stickers for their GPI cases. So, and then that all happened. Like, at the time, I didn't have a job. So I was like, all right, what I can do is I can have my money and I can buy X amount of cases and get these to these people as soon as I can, because I had a direct connection with Retro Flag from back in the day when I did NestPie cases, which is where I started. And that seemed to infuriate Travis even more for some reason. And everybody basically told me, like, yeah, he's real pissed off about it. I don't understand why. I don't understand it at all. But yeah, again, I don't even try and question it anymore, because I don't think I'm smart enough to comprehend the way that he thinks about it. I don't know. I just don't think I'm smart enough, period. So regardless. So I went ahead and did all the GPI case pre-orders and everything. And I was trying to get a very good price on all of them. But unfortunately, with what I had to go through and shipping and everything, unfortunately, it came out to about the same for the most part. But what I did is I set a specific price. So yes, even though the people in the US paid a little bit more, A, they got their cases first, and B, they helped out their international friends in terms of shipping. So I set a price and said, all right, they were, I sold them for $80. Yeah, $80 shipped worldwide. So what that means is anywhere over across the US was basically like $3 to $7, depending on what type of shipping I did. Then outside of the US, that was across the sea, was basically 20 some odd dollars. I think it's $22 flat rate. Okay, and that's like the cheapest to go. So, and what's problematic about that is that there's no tracking information because it's first class mail, which I'm real iffy about. But thankfully, we had only one issue, and as far as I can tell, he's still got his case. So all the orders have been fulfilled except for one currently, which I have not there. I have it right here. So I have one piece left, and he is waiting on it because he's a cool guy. He knows me. Anyway, so I did all that for the community. And again, I more or less look at it as I try to be as good as I can be for the community. I never try and cheat anybody if I can. And if anybody knows me, they know I'm willing to make a deal with you on most things if I can. Okay. There's not always going to be that I can make a deal, but I know I've sent several different things to people just out of the sure that they needed it. Okay. And I guarantee several people can back me up on that, that has happened multiple times, and it still is happening to this day because I'm just that type of person. And to be in all honesty, for some reason, people love getting on bad sides of people who love to do good. And that's really out of anything that I would say to take away from me personally is I'm willing to help you in any way, shape, or form, regardless if we've had good times or bad times. I'm here to help. Okay. That's it. If I can help you, I will. All right. God, I'm like a politician, talking with my hands. Anyway, so basically moving back to the whole Retropie, Super Retropie thing, I had made a secondary profile, and I had went on to the Super Retropie group just to check in and see if anybody was relating material that I was giving out for the specific GPie case, because I had created a group about it, and I'll get into that a little bit too. And basically anything that was information that I was giving out that was helpful information was not being relayed. But again, that's an excuse, and there's no excuses for basically me creating another account and going on there. Now, there was another instance where somebody else made another account, and that was my friend, who I just want to slap for causing more drama than what was needed. And that was my buddy Justin. And yeah, that one I will apologize for. Absolutely, 100%. I could apologize for my indiscretion for making another account, but I did what I did, and that is it is what it is. There's no reason for me to apologize for that, really, because I purposely meant to do that, to check up and see what's going on, and basically all the information was being diverted from the GPie case user group, and specifically away from me specifically. But again, that's an excuse, basically making like, oh, it's all about me. Again, at that time, me. Anyway, so I got banned from there, and that was the end of that. I had not visited. I was still liking the Super Retropie Facebook page or whatever it is. So basically, there's the group and then there's the page. Yeah, so it was the page. So I'm still on the page, so I still see posts come up here and there, which is funny because it's mostly ETA Prime stuff, literally taken and just reposted with hashtags. That's really all it is. Me and ETA Prime have a laugh about it from time to time. Anyway, so back to the whole Retropie thing. I basically got let go from there because I was causing too much drama with Super Retropie, and then on top of it, I started doing the Supreme image thing, and I basically maybe have overstepped a little bit, but in good right. Again, I was on a path to lead myself to what Retropie was, so I saw that as an infringement where the Supreme team was basically using their retro flag link to their Patreon, and in their Patreon it basically stated, hey, if you donate to us, you can get access to our next image. Well, in terms, that is technically paying for that service. So you are paying to get a pre-release of an image. And that just spun way out of control really quickly. And I really meant to just keep it in the GPI case user group, but I spilled it over to the Retropie, and that was my undoing. And then I made basically a video because that next day I was stepped down to moderator, and I couldn't quite understand why my admins who entrusted me for the last 3.5 years of me running that group, and pretty much running it by myself, I might add, but they were still there. So I can't really say that I was 100% running it, but I would say in most people's terms, I'd say maybe 80% I was mostly running it. And at the end there, I did add on some moderators and admins when we started stepping up and up and up. So, so yeah. So basically, that's what happened with that. And then I made a video of me pretty much stepping out of it and possibly leaving. And then I stated that, oh yeah, I used to sell ROMs or loaded images. Sorry, which again, I absolutely used to do that. Everybody has in the groups. Okay, you can't tell me that you haven't. I pretty much know most of the people that have. Okay, and I can call them out. I'm not going to because it's in the past. These people have evolved just as I have with the groups and have learned, hey, that's frowned upon. Like, you can't do that stuff. Like, we were all new at it. Everybody's there. In fact, there's still people that will be on Retropie and come in there and automatically ask, hey, where can I get a ROM and download it? Everybody does it, okay? Everybody does ROM sharing. Everybody sells systems. I still talk to people that sell systems that are loaded. You know, like, I just talked to somebody today. I don't really talk to them, but I was talking to them about other projects that they do because they had got a, a UV printer, which was really awesome. So I'm not talking to them about their retro stuff that I know that they sell illegally, but I'm talking to them about their other services because I like that service. I don't care for that. Okay. So I'm not really going to deal with them. And I'm done with all that. So my whole thing with trying to be this Retropie fit-in person, that's not happening anymore. I'm going to be more or less an all-around retro guy. So that's the reason for my new group and the name of it, Retro New Age, because it's not just going to be about Raspberry Pi and Retropie. It's going to be about Recallbox. It's going to be about Laka. It's going to be about Odroid and Tinkerboard and so on and so forth. Anything that you can think about that you can emulate on systems, PCs, what have you, that are retro gaming related. And really, since the name is just Retro New Age, we can even go to things like records or you know, like audiophile stuff. Like we can get into stuff that's all retro. Not saying that's really what I want to do, but it's a possibility. So, and there's some more stuff that I'm working on with Jeff Norris behind the scenes on that. And I'm hoping that we can get it all released and done by the beginning of this upcoming year, because I think it's a move that's going to be very, very good for everybody. Whether you like me or not, it's going to be good for you, okay? And it's going to be good for everybody. You can talk with your friends and this and that. It's going to be something that is going to be huge, okay? It's going to be very easy to use, straightforward. Like, we're going to make things as simple as we can possibly be if I have the time and the manpower to do that. So it's really going to change the way that people are sharing information about things. So I'm very excited about this new venture. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a long, long time, well over 2 years. I just didn't have the knowledge or the know-how because, again, I'm smart in a lot of ways, but I'm not in some other ways, just like most people are. So that's what's happening with that. Let's get back to basically ranting and raving about stupid stuff, okay? So a lot of stupid things I have done, absolutely. And I will take 100% credit for all of them. Okay, I do not deny anything. If I've done it, I've done it. It's as simple as that. Basically, if you say something, you do something, take responsibility for it. That's always been my type of thing. And again, I'm always here to help out no matter what. So with that being said, lately we've had an influx. Well, I shouldn't even say we. It's more or less just me, Akuma Mods. I've had several people reach out to me in the past couple months regarding Travis Wilson and just him in general being over dictating either in the Super Retropie group, which I'm sorry, guys, I don't have any control of. That's his group. What he says is goes. Like I said, maybe he's suffering from the narcissism that I am at an early stage. I don't know. I can't say for certain. But all I do know is that when he starts attacking people that I work with on several projects, and then trying to, I guess, what do they call that? Basically put a mark in my name. There's a specific word for it. I can't think of it anyway. And I basically will be here regardless. Okay, my name is set here. Whether I'm big or not, it does not matter to me. Okay, as long as I'm here to help in any way, shape, or form. I can be the little blip on the radar, but if I see a post here and somebody is crying out for help, like, hey, I need to figure out how to fix this, I'm right there to help them out. Always have been, always will be, forever. Okay, helping is my biggest drive nowadays after leaving the Retropie group. And I know a lot of people have issues, groups not having that behind them. And my sincere apologies to anybody who's on any groups that have that type of dictatorship where there's somebody like, hey, you can't post this unless you go through me. Like, that's a terrible thing to say, especially to your admins and moderators. Like, you can't post anything. Like, that's terrible. That's not helping. That's hindering. That's narcissistic. God. And that's basically how it is. And it's terrible to think that people are afraid to stand up to one person because they're afraid that they're going to become nothing. And I'll be straight honest, be nothing. You are something somewhere to somebody. Okay? Everybody who I have dealt with and know and have talked to has something to bring. Okay? The reason why I specifically picked certain people to become moderators and admins on Retropie when I was part of it was because they offered something that I saw as tangible for everybody. Like, take, for example, Chuck Payne. That man knows the ins and outs of Linux. He knows far more than I will ever learn in a lifetime. Absolutely 100% on it. I'd love to learn what he knows on Linux, but it's way beyond my knowledge, way beyond my smartness. So that's one of them. Another one was Neil Bradshaw, because he has an open heart. He's there to help people. Yes, he has fallen on pretty bad times, and I still keep in contact with him, and I still help him out to this day. In fact, I can call him right now and ask him how he's doing, but I don't need to because I literally just talked to him the other day. So as much as he's burned those bridges, he's still kind of a friend to me, okay? And I say kind of because he's kind of in a bad place right now. It happens. Everybody, I've been there. I've battled with leaving or stepping down from Retropie several times because people get to me. And that's not going to happen anymore. It's going to stay me pushing forward. Whether you like me or not, friend me, not block me, unblock me, doesn't matter. You're just someone there. If you need help, reach out. I'll try and help you out. I can't say that I can fix everything, but I'm going to try and help you out. Now, with that being said, let's get on to what happened today, specifically with this in general. This is the CM3 Plus, made by Chris from Retro Game Restore. And yes, I had to think about that for a second. I've worked with him a little bit on this. With the designing of it, very little. With marketing it, huge. In fact, I have that image ready to rock and roll. We're going to throw some Dreamcast on it tonight. We're going to do a couple videos on this and on this tonight, so we can do some more marketing, because we have about 4 days left of pre-ordering for the CM3 kit for the GPI case, which I am working, partnered with RGR, okay? Whether you want to believe that or not, you can ask him. I can see the conversation he's had with everybody who's asked about me specifically, okay? I've helped him out because people were wanting to already steal his design and already wanted things from him, okay? I've helped him on that front. I've helped him immensely get to where he's at in the USA, okay? He was very, very hidden from wanting to bring this out to the public, and I said, if anything, let me help you on this venture. And he was absolutely delighted with that. And I couldn't be happier, because this is something that's really going to make a lot of people happy. And I cannot wait for people to review it and give me feedback on it and give him feedback on it, so we can collaborate again and do this again with maybe another revision. Who knows? I see that definitely in the future, but who knows? Secondly, some of you guys know that I do a lot of dual stream with Steve from Renegade Labs. And that's basically where Steve started. I can't really say that I take credit for bringing Steve up from where he's been, but I can say that I've helped. Again, that's me. Help you out. I'm here to help you. In fact, I still help Steve to this day. Yes, we've had some issues in the past, as everybody has, but I see right through it, because I know it was within good intentions, and I'm willing to let that slip. So most of the stuff that I see with Renegade Labs is my idea for the most part, but I don't take credit for it because I don't need it. I want them to shine. I'm there to help, not to promote as much as I can. There are some things I will promote, much as this. Why do I promote that? Because it's what I've been asked to do. Specifically tonight, I was told, hey, I need this promoted. I need this pushed. You got it, dude. I will promote it to the earth end and back. Even if it gets me a permaban, it's going to happen. Okay? You got my word. I'm going to help you promote it. Back to Renegade Labs. A lot of things that you guys see in those Game Boy builds has come from me, which Steve has taken, tinkered with some of them, and made them into what those Game Boy builds are, which are fantastic. And anytime that there's an issue, I will bring it directly to Steve and say, hey, let's try this approach. Let's try that approach. And with Steve, it's great because I can throw him ideas, and he has the smarts to design things that I can only dream of. So he can put what I have in my head in real life. And he has. So let's just name a few. And again, this is just stuff that I helped with, and I'm not trying to take credit for it. You can give me credit. That's fine. I'm not going to, though. That's all his stuff. So let's start. First off, battery monitoring system. I told Steve, I'm like, hey, this is a great idea. You should incorporate it. It's a great thing to have. Lets people know how much battery they have. Boom, done. Next revision. Hey, you know, I deal with safe shutdown systems on the Nest Pi systems. Why don't you incorporate a safe shutdown for it so it properly shuts down the Pi, doesn't kill people's SD cards? Boom, done. Hey, there's an issue with the bezel. Hold that sound. There's an issue with the bezel, Steve. I cracked it. This is the second time. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at it. Hey, you know, I know you're moving other projects and things like that with the Game Boys, and I figured, hey, let's sit down and, you know, chat. And I chat with Steve every single day, every day, every night. That's what I do here. I sit at this desk. I tinker with things because I am not a builder. I am not a maker. No, I love to be. I love to tinker. I love to take things like this and make them better. That's what I do. I'm not an originator. I don't follow people. I'm far from a follower, okay? I lead my own path in a lot of things, okay? And I'm not even going to spit out projects that I've had that are like way out there, except for maybe one, okay? So everybody was all big about the Pi Zero cart, okay, the NES cartridge. Well, I wanted to do a Pi 3. And there was one person out there that did a Pi 3, so I was like, I can't follow that. Let's do something different. So with the help of John Dagnillo and his designing, we created a project that ultimately was an absolute failure, and I invested about $2,000 into. Hey, it happens. I designed a Pi 3 cart with him that was out the front, SD card, HDMI, a blower fan, and basically it was an awesome cart. Required a lot of work, but it was an awesome cart. This was way before Pi 3 A+ was around. And eventually that stemmed to him making a Super NES cartridge, which, as far as I know, was a success. Maybe it was my marketing skills. I don't know. Maybe it's just me that people didn't like what I was doing. Hey, that happens all the time. I'm quite unique when it comes to things. Anyway, again, I digress with that. I want to go back to Renegade Labs with the screen bezel. So I had told them, I'm like, hey, you know, with all these people having to glue the screen bezel down, basically, if they destroy their screen, they're out of luck. Like, what are they going to do? They got to redo their entire thing. Like, that's going to look messy. People are going to damage things. This is going to be a disaster for a lot of things. Why not design it in 2 parts? And I will say, I can't even take full credit for this because Michael Kruger, who also works for Renegade Labs, had a similar idea or same idea. I don't know. So I'm not even going to really take credit for that, but I said it at least. It's out there. And basically, he redesigned it and made it so. So that's the new revision. I got him into 3D printing, so that way he can 3D print bezels and make them into better things. I think I got him into 3D printing. I don't know. I guess I can't really take that one in, but I definitely got him into resin printing, which will give you guys better quality looking parts. So that's definitely something that's really cool because you can have some really amazing things with resin printing. Not that I'm trying to promote or anything, but anyway, again, I had heard some issues with him live feed and basically somebody giving him backlash, specifically Travis Wilson, stating that customers were saying that, hey, this is broken, this is not working, this is user error, 100%. Okay, whether you want to believe it or not, that's it's going to happen. People are too hand heavy. The same thing happened with the GPI case. People were too hand heavy with the cartridges. They broke the standoffs. It's going to happen. People just are impatient on things. And when you have a DIY kit, let me stress that, DIY, do it yourself, okay? That means everything that you do is on you and you alone. Take responsibility for it, okay? I messed up mine. Taking responsibility for it, I got to print a new bezel. It happens. Is it going to fix it? No, I'll probably end up breaking the other one. I guarantee it, because I'm hands heavy at times. And that's just how it is. It's how it is. But it seems to be a reoccurring issue, specifically with Travis Wilson. Not that I really like to oust somebody specifically. It seems like personal attacks are on me consistently. And that's more or less the reason for this video 100%, was to, this is what people have come to me about. And it's basically stemmed from me not having him as a mod or an admin of Retropie, and him basically having a vendetta against me, apparently. I don't know. I should just chalk it up and leave it, let it go, which, you know what, I'm going to do. I'm going to make this video, and that's going to be the end of it. I'm done with it. I got better things to do. I got people to help out. I don't need to be trying to justify what I'm talking about right now to one person when there's other people literally crying out for help. Hey, I need this fixed. I don't know what I'm doing. Can you help me out? Yeah, absolutely. I'm right there, 100%. And in fact, I've gone to so much of a level that I've met some of these people and I've helped them out. I've went to their houses. I've crossed state lines to go and help them out. Anytime that they're in town, hit me up. I'm here. You need help with something? Absolutely. Hit me up. Okay? I've done it before. I'll do it again. I'll continue to do it. I don't care. There's no end to my goodness. Okay? That's just how it is. That's me, period. I am here to help. God, such a broken record. Oh, anyway, as usual, I lose my train of thought because I'm ranting and raving and crying about miscellaneous crap. Stupid things that I shouldn't really be spending time on. But anyway, here I am spending time on it. But I set this time aside. So in any way, if anybody's wondering if there's something out there that's a project that you need help on, hit me up. I'm willing to try and help. If you're hitting a wall with a project, go ahead and hit me up. Okay? I've helped several people get to where they are, but I don't take credit for it because I don't need to. As long as you're going in that direction and you keep going in that direction, that's great. Here's another person to add into the list. MGS, multi-gaming system. He makes amazing products. The kid has outstanding talent, probably the best I have ever seen anybody with talent in terms of making a system from literally scratch. Okay? And he made me a miniature Dreamcast from nothing. And it was just jaw-dropping, the detail that he put into his work. That man right there is going places, and I have nothing but the best for him in his future endeavors. And any time that he needs help, I'm there to help him out, just like I have in the past. I may not help them out as much as I have with Renegade Labs or Chris from Retro Game Restored, but I'm here to help out. Okay? And that's really what it is. And if this video gives you any insight to who I am, and you think I'm a bad person, and you hate me for calling out someone specific, so be it. It's something that needs to be said, and I've said it. okay? Because that's the type of person I am. I'm not a real big person to stand down from a lot of things. There are things that I do, yeah, but I usually come back stronger and better because of it. And this is one of those times where it needs to be said, and I'm saying it. And this video literally has stemmed just from one person. I just added in the other stuff as filler. That's it. Because I like to talk. I'm a talker. It's what I do. I like making videos. I like helping out people. It's what I do. So, no, I'm not getting choked up as much as I'd love to. Oh, cry me a river. But yeah, I've had several people that are even who are allies of Travis Wilson say that I just don't know what he's doing with this. I don't know. I can't speak for anybody specific. People have their own tendencies, and you know, I've heard literally the same word that I've thrown around in this feed in the beginning, which is narcissism for that man. And I can relate because I was there. I'm that type of person too. So that's why I can kind of relate to what he does and the way he thinks, because it's my thing or nothing. And then the funny thing is he tends to hide behind Super Retropie name and then go back and forth. That was funny stuff in some of my older videos. And you guys can probably pull it up on this page, like some of the giveaways, like him saying, "Oh yeah, I'm great," and then the Super Retropie is like, "Yeah, you're a real great person," ha ha ha. But it's the same person. And it's funny when somebody tries to deny that, and their own admin, or I'm sorry, moderator at that time, was like, "Yeah, you know, he signed into 2 accounts, right? So I guess touche on the weird, creepy stuff. We're both the same. It's the same thing." So, you know, it's just funny that has come to this point that I have to state this because it's become such an issue with the people that I work with. It's sad, really, because he's trying to snuff me out. That's the word I was thinking earlier. Snuff my name out and try and erase me, but I'm here. I've set myself in place. And even if I go away from the retro scene, guess what? I got a whole other hobby that I'm into. 3D printing, which a lot of big people, they know me. We're all good friends. We're all weirdos on multiple weird levels. Okay? We all get together. We all have fun. It's what we should be doing, not doing this. So again, this is a one-time thing. This is going to be the last time thing for Facebook drama. Okay? I'm done with it. Yes, I'm still going to be on Facebook groups. Yes, I still will be helping people out. If you're there, give me a jingle. You can call me on my cell phone. You can message me at any time of night. I'm always around. Always there to lend a helping hand. With Travis, I don't know about that. At least lately, doesn't seem that way. Maybe back in the day, yes. 100% I agree with that. But now, with the stuff that he does, and yeah, I do have all the messages, like, especially like the last live feed with Steve, where he was literally like nitpicking every single thing. You got to understand, it's a DIY kit, man. If you can't handle a DIY kit, you shouldn't be doing it. And he's basically stated to me like, hey, I'm a bad person for not mentioning people or giving them credit where credit is due. And that is about the only thing that has gotten under my skin that Travis has said to me, because I can't physically think of any time that I've never given somebody credit where credit was due. I really can't. I've racked my brain a million times on this, and I can't think what I have not included in somebody in some way, shape, or form. I try and include everybody if I can. or mention them in some way, shape, or form. And if that person is watching and I never gave you credit, let me just say it right here to everybody who's watching. My absolute sincere apologies on that. I did not mean it in any way, shape, or form. If you look back on any of my videos, anything that I posted that relates to anybody else, I give credit where credit is due. Absolutely. Just like when I put out a feeler for the backdrop for my Akuma Mods page, I said specifically, hey, put your name in the bottom there, whoever creates that. And funny enough, it was Travis. It's kind of strange how that happens. Like, it's kind of a 50-50 with that. It's almost like bipolar, which I know several people that are like that. So it's kind of strange. It's a weird relationship me and Travis had. Probably always going to be like that. But at this point in time, out of anybody that I can say it to, I'm done trying to help out. I'm done trying to be there. I'm removing myself from anything that is super Retropie related, so I don't have to hear about it. Like, hey, you're posting on the page again. I told you to just go away. Well, I'm sorry, I can't really go away when people need my help. I can't. It's kind of a thing. I have a really, really bad thing about it. It's true. I'm a little stalkerish when it comes to trying to help people. It's absolutely true. I'm sorry. It's a big glitch I have. I can't really fix it. I don't know how. And really, I don't think people really want me to fix it. So, with that being said, guys, keep an eye out for some new things that are going on, again, with me and Jeff. We got some new things coming out. Hopefully, we can announce it at the beginning of this upcoming year, 2020, so we can make a fantastic new year for everybody. And I will say that everybody is welcome. Yes, even including Travis. And he is already on my Retro New Age page. And yes, people have said, well, why is he? Because I just don't care. If he's here to learn and he can help out, then he's there. But after the recent things, I'm kind of second guessing that and kind of siding with everybody else. But I'm willing to be the better person and allow him in there because I'm all about helping. Regardless if he doesn't really know anything about Retropie and his big thing is images, that's about it. He's very good at digital images. I will say that. Absolutely. That's about his one claim to fame. I can't even go up to that. Tinkering is about my claim to fame, and that's at that. I got some little things here and there. Maybe copied some ideas and tinkered with it and then changed it and made it my own. Much like the James White. But again, I gave him credit where credit was due. You could even look on my YouTube page. I'm pretty sure anything that has to do with the NestPie kit has James White in it in some way, shape, or form. Credit where credit is due. So, again, it's really crazy. And yes, I may be a little bit crazy, but that's what makes the world go around. Crazy people. Because we just spin things. Spin it, spin it. You spin me right round. Yeah, I'm a weird guy. So, anyway, guys, I thank you for tuning in this weird video of literally weird ranting and ousting. Well, I wouldn't really say ousting. Just complaining about Travis. Complaining about me, so I might as well do him a solid too. Sure. But needless to say, I'll keep working with people. I'll keep giving them ideas. And no, I don't need credit for it because I'm not that type of person. I don't need credit for really anything. If I want credit, I'll ask you for it, but for the most part, I'm not going to. So, with that being said, I thank you guys and enjoy the rest of your night, as much as it might be a little weird night after you've heard everything. So, until next time, I'll see you guys all on Retro New Age. Peace.